audience again. Alright, how many of you can see? Oh, that's good to know. Well, I don't see as well, and that is because that my eyes have a disease which is called cone rod dystrophy, which I know a lot about because it's in my eyes and it's involved with the family lineage, so it's always good to know. And this really helps me inform you about this kind of disability because it's something I've always dealt with. And I will be more informing you about the eye and what my eye does by telling you how the disabilities in my eyes affects like color blindness, the light sensitivity, and also the subcategory that my eye goes into, which is blue cone. So to begin with, my eye has a astigmatism, which is a irregular curvature in the eye, which there's multiples of them. They do all kinds of different things, but what they mostly do, which is they just cause blurriness, which really isn't good, but is also fixable by a like LASIK surgery or whatnot. So it's not super severe. On top of that, you've got cones. You've got cones and rods. Cones are what bring in the light of the eye. And they also help distinguish color because a lot of color is also distinguished by light. Because color is, if you see a white light, technically that is all colors of the spectrum. So you don't have, so if not bringing in the light that you need, you're not going to see the colors and they're going to be distorted. Rods bring in the darkness, or help see in darkness. They enhance like little lights in the dark, and so they really kind of help you see when like the light is not very prevalent. So my eye goes into my eye subcategory goes into blue cone, and so with that, the normally a cone rod dystrophy is a deteriorating disease, which means that my eyes are going to eventually get so bad I'm going to go blind, which would be about, supposedly the estimate is 40 to 45. I would usually go blind, but luckily I have blue cone, which means that I only have the blue cones in my eyes, which you have all the colors of the spectrum. You have blue, green, and red cones, so that you see the different colors. So the blue cone helps you bring in the blue light, which, I mean, with being light sensitive, it's not really that good of a thing. On top of that, I also have, with only having 4% of the 4% of the cones, I also am extremely light sensitive. So any kind of light, artificial or real, is really hard for my eyes to recept, and so it really hurts when just a normal light. So I usually in a dark room most of the time, where I have tinted contacts, which are not cheap, by the way. On top of that, I also have the cones and the rods don't really affect the eye. They don't affect the eye in the normal way. So the cones really just you think that they all recept the same kind of light, but they don't always. And so this is very hard for some people to grasp because they don't always know. To reiterate, my cones are very underdeveloped or not there, only at 4%, which that involves the grand scheme of cone rod dystrophy, and that is what my speech is over.